Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Phightins Final here on the Edge of Philly Sports with your boy Matty B. Yeah, there you have it. 5-0 Phillies go down today to the juggernaut Colorado Rockies, who were coming into this game reeling on an 8-game losing streak. But I guess that's where you come to get better. You come to Philadelphia and play the Phillies because tonight the Rockies they handled the business tonight against a Matt Strom-led Phillies pitching effort. Matt pitched well. He pitched well. He pitched good enough to win. But once again, the Philly offense was anemic and on life support and continues to be wildly inconsistent this season as we move through the 2023 season. 5-0 your final tonight at Citizen Bank Park as the Phillies return home from a 7-game road trip to a 5-0 loss. It's as frustrating as it sounds, folks. It really is. Through 20 games now, we have played 20 games in 2023, and the Fighting Phillies are now 8-12 and sinking. Right? Yes, I want to use the sinking word because here's my issue. It's not that they lost. It's not. It really isn't. It's 162 games. All that I got it. But when they were down 4-0. When the Phillies got down 4-0 in this game, I began to channel surf. You know why? Because I didn't think they were going to come back from that. And that's more telling than anything else to me. That's like a thunderbolt hitting me or a lightning bolt hitting me. That I don't have any faith in this team at this time to battle back from a 4-0 deficit against the Colorado Rockies. And that is what's really as telling as anything for me throughout this whole period right now is I've lacked confidence in his team's ability to play consistent good baseball. But let's get to the box score, shall we? Because there was a game tonight. The Phillies, as I mentioned, returned home after a 7-game road trip, and this is how the scoring would go down at the bank tonight. Cron would get things going for the Rockies in the very top of the first inning, a 2-run shot. Scoring Profar as well, 2-0 Rockies. Then Diaz would knock in McMahon in the 6th to make it 3-0. And then a bases loaded walk would make it 4-0 in the 6th. And as I said, that was about the point where I began to channel surf because I didn't think the team was going to be able to come back. And Moustakas would add a little bit insurance for the Rockies in the 9th inning as he makes it 5-0. And there you have it, folks. 5-0 is your final score tonight. Offensively for the Phillies, once again, when you only get 5 hits, I believe it was for the night. I'm sorry, 6 hits. There's not much really to talk about offensively. I guess your offensive MVP for the evening might have been Josh Harrison, who had that double in the 9th inning. That was about the biggest part of offense that this team has had. Other than that, it was once again a collectively stink effort tonight by the Phillies as they go down 5-0. 11 strikeouts for the Phillies tonight. Count them, 11 more. But to their credit, they struck out the Rockies 15 times. So what is happening on one side of the diamond versus the other side of the diamond? When we strike out in bunches, we don't score any runs. The other team strikes out in bunches and they score 5. I don't understand any of this. Phillies will go down 5-0. Feltner gets the win. He went 5.5 with 3 hits, no runs. Obviously, he walked 3 and struck out 6. Lawrence and Pierce Johnson would come in and clean things up for the Rockies. Matt Strom gets saddled with the loss tonight. Really doesn't deserve to be. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. He walked 2 and struck out 11. He gave up that big home run to start things off in the first. And then Andrew Bellotti. Listen, I got the whole Bellotti thing. I don't hate him. I just don't know why he's being pitched. I really don't. He needs about 6 days off. But yet there he was, back out there tonight, walking people around the bases. He lasted a half inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 2. Brogdon and Ortiz came in and did what they had to do as well. To a tune of 5-0. Stat wise, let's look at this thing because that's what I do here on this program. The Phillies did not commit any errors. They did not ground in any double plays. They did not steal any bases, nor did they have any stolen bases against them. They did give up 1 more home run tonight. That is now 20 home runs the Philly pitching staff has given up through 20 games. Do the math. The Phillies struck out 11 times tonight. That raises their season total to 193 times. The Philadelphia Phillies have struck out through 20 games, folks. The Phillies have struck out 193 times. That averages close to 10 strikeouts a game. The Rockies struck out 15 times tonight, and the Phillies pitchers have struck out 177 batters. The walks seem to be getting better. The Phillies gave up 4 walks tonight, but they were pretty crucial walks at the time that they gave them. At least 2 of them were. The Phillies pitching staff has now issued 78 walks on the year, which is about 4 a game. Hit wise, Phillies with 6 hits, the Rockies with 7. The Phillies have gone over the 200 hit plateau. That's right, 20 games this season. 20 games through the season, the Phillies are over 200 hits. They're 205. They're averaging like 10 and a half hits a game. But they've also given up 172 hits. But how does a team that's 8-12 is averaging over 10 hits a game? I mean, how did these numbers work out, man? And I'm about to get to that. Runners left in scoring position. Tonight they were 1 for 7. 51 for 198 on the year. Lowers their batting average. 257 and 11 runners left on base, raising that total to 156. That's about 8 a game, folks. And there you figure it. There's the mystery. There's the mystery solved. 10 and a half hits a game. You're leaving 8 runners on base. That's why you're 8-12. And the Phillies lose again 5-0. And now giving up 103 runs on the season. And that's about 5 a game. And that is not good. 5-0 is your final score tonight from Citizen Bank Park. Uninspired offensive baseball yet again from the Philadelphia Phillies. Leave it to the Phillies to let a team that has lost 8 in a row to come in here and beat them 5-0. This offense is baffling. Chris, I 100% agree with you. And it wasn't like the Rockies came into this, it wasn't like they were losing these games during this 8-game losing streak, like 3-2 or 4-3. I think they lost yesterday like 13-2 or something like that. And they come in here and just befuddle the Philly pitching staff. Matter of fact, I think the Rockies entering this game over the last 8 games, their collective ERA was over 6. And now they come out and they throw a shutout. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So let's take a look now, folks, around Major League Baseball. As I mentioned, 5-0 Phillies with the loss. The Dodgers are in Chicago right now, bottom of the third. They're up 2-1. A little bit later, the Padres and Diamondbacks will go at it. The Mets and Giants will go at it. Games that have gone final: Red Sox over the Twins 11-5, Yankees over the Angels 9-3, and the Pirates over the Reds 4-3. And a very kind of light night here around Major League Baseball on this Thursday evening. Tomorrow, of course, this series will continue. This very critical 4-game set. Aaron Nola will get the nod for the Phillies tomorrow, and he'll be opposed by Noah Davis. 7:05 start time tomorrow, Citizen Bank. Be there or be square. Yeah. Chris also hits. It's mind-boggling. Chris, it's not mind-boggling, man. It's frustrating. It's annoying. It's as I mentioned, 10 and a half hits a game. This team is averaging 10 and a half hits a game, but they're leaving 8 runners on base a game. They're batting .250 as a collective with runners in scoring position. That's what's really and again, I've said this. This is not new for the Phillies. This was what plagued them all of last year, to include even in the postseason. We're unable to get the big hit when needed, and it's carried over in a huge way. And then you factor in the depth issues with our pitching staff, and it's really, really glaring right now. The offensive, just inabilities. I thought Trey Turner was brought here to fix some of that. And obviously tonight, he goes down swinging to end the game with runners on. And it's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. Walter says Andrew Blolati's still not helping in the last 3 outings. He helps. Yeah, listen, Walter, I mentioned this on the show a couple of nights ago. I don't want to see him have the ball. Give him a break. He's gassed. He's in his own head, and he's just not effective. I don't know why they keep hurting him out there. I mean, I'd rather see Josh Harrison get the nod than Andrew Bellotti in key situations. I really would. It's just it's come to that for me. Just give the guy a minute. Give the guy a few days off. Give the guys a few days off. If the Phillies aren't careful, they could be 10 games or more out by May. Well, you know what, Chris? It that's where they were last year. And again, I think that we've lost sight of that. We've lost sight of what this team really is and what they are, what they have been. Um, an 87 win team. And yeah, 10 games out by May. I mean, that's where we were last year. And the division was gone. We were battling for a wild card from May on or June on, actually. But yeah, absolutely. Now, the NL East is not like it was last year. The Braves are kind of inching their way out in front, but still definitely a winnable division, but not right now with this team. Not right now with the way the Phillies are playing. Absolutely not. Mike says absolutely perplexing. Yes. Tonight the runners were getting on with 2 outs already. Yeah, and that Walter, you're right. Before tonight, it was runners were on with 1 out, then someone would strike out, and then someone would pop up. Tonight, you're right. It was already 2 outs, and then somebody gets a double, and you just knew. You just knew it. You're right. As well, let's all leave Topper out of this as well. He's not the problem. Okay, this is where I disagree, Mike. What do you mean he's not the problem? Topper's the manager. He's the guy that puts the lineup out there. He's the guy that goes to Bilotti. He's the guy that's making these critical in-game decisions about batting certain people in certain positions. He's the one that heralded out Christian Pache, Garrett Stubbs, and what was the other guy? And Cody Clemens the other day. The hell are you talking about? Topper's not the problem. Of course he's the problem. He is, well, maybe he's not the problem. He's part of the problem. He's the manager, for God's sakes, man. He should get the accolades when it's going well, but he should also suffer the consequences when it's not. Of course, he's the part of the problem, and he is the problem. He needs to do something. He needs to friggin' figure some things out, man. He needs to figure it out. It's his job to do that. That's what they pay him for. I mean, he's not the problem. Come on now. Let's not. What are we doing here? Their at bats are horrible. They swing at way too many bad pitches and strikeouts. Did they? How many strikeouts did they have tonight? They were struck out tonight 11 times, Chris. 11 times. But as I said, they struck out 15 Rockies. They struck out 15 Rockies, but they themselves have struck out 11 times. And for the season, if you missed it, I'll recap you. The Phillies as a team have struck out 193 times through 20 games. That averages out to about 10 a game. That is, I don't care what era of baseball. I don't want to hear analytics, and we don't care about strikeouts anymore. If you're striking out as a team 10 times a game, that ain't good. I don't care what era of baseball you were talking about. That ain't good because no one's getting on base and no one's driving any runners in when you're striking out 10 times a game. So I don't want to hear analytics be damned. Bull crap. He's not Topper. He's Bottomer. Very good, Walter. Very good. And Chris says that's not good. It's not. It's not. And what's not good to go along with all those strikeouts the Phillies are having but they, as I mentioned earlier, they're also averaging over 10 hits a game. They're averaging over 10 hits a game. They're striking out 10 times a game. They're batting 251 as a team with runners in scoring position. And they've left on base through 20 games. Again, for you guys who missed it, I'll recap you. They have left 156 runners on base through 20 games. Averages out to about 8 a game. There's the reasons, right? They're getting hits, they're getting on base, they're just not cashing in. They're either striking out or they're just not driving runners in. And I don't know the reason. Bryce Harper, I mean, Bryce Harper can't be in every RBI situation. He can't be. There's got to somebody around this lineup's got to figure themselves out. Someone's got to step up. Someone's got to get that hit. We just got to get better with that because we cannot win this way. We really can't. Chris says that's insane. Yeah, brother, I feel you, man. It is very insane. And yes, it is Rob Thompson's fault. All right. And please take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying Rob Thompson is the reason the team is underperforming on the field. I get you. But Rob Thompson is also the manager, right? Don't tell me it's not his fault. Man, that burns my buns, man. All right. Because the base running gaffes, what was it? 9 runners were thrown out on the bases, or that's what their number is for the season. That is all fundamental baseball. That is the manager's fault. That is the manager's responsibility. The manager teaches that. The manager trains that. This team came out of spring training not ready to play baseball. That is the manager's fault. That don't blame the WBC or the robo-ump or the pitch timer. That is the manager's fault that this team came out of spring training not ready to play baseball. Yeah, injuries, yes, I get you. But that is the manager's fault. That's his job to fix. Now, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. I get you. But what has he done? What has he done to fix this? Nothing. We herded Joe Girardi out of here last year because it's the same exact issue. The same exact thing. Look back at the stats of this team last year through 20 games. It's similar. The problems with this team through 20 games in 2022 were similar than the problems with this team in 2023. And we ran the damn manager out of here. Why does Rob Thompson get a break? Because of last season, we won the NLCS, or we won the NL. Great. We didn't win the World Series, okay? We're not the world champions. We're the runners up. So what do we do? What are we settling here for? Let's hold that manager accountable. I'm not saying fire Rob Thompson. I'm not saying that. But let's stop giving this guy a pass for whatever reason we think he should get one. He is the manager of this ball club. It is his responsibility to fix it, or he should be fired. Plain and simple. I love the Philly mindset, and you're right. He needs to figure some things out, but there have been far too many mental errors on his team. He can't get up there and swing the bat for them or run the bases for them. These are players that have regressed. Wow, I just kind of just said that. I disagree with you. Well, I mean, I agree with your points. I do. I agree with your points. But it is the manager's job to fix those things. Bench guys, I don't care. You can't figure out how to run the first to third without getting picked off, then you sit your ass down, and I'll get somebody else up here to do it. Or I won't. But doing nothing to me is not the answer. All right, it's embarrassing. The Phillies should be embarrassed tonight for the effort they put out against the 5 or 6 win now Colorado Rockies. They should be straight up embarrassed. Everybody who went to that game tonight should get a refund on their ticket because it was an embarrassing game. The offense was putrid against a Colorado Rocky team whose ERA was over 6 heading into this game. Whose fault is that? It's the manager's. Overall, it's his fault. He doesn't swing the bat. I get all that. But overall, it is his fault because he's not doing nothing to fix it. Thompson is reminiscing me of Girardi. Again, I said that, Chris. But yeah, we were ready to run Girardi out of here. I got it. Girardi had a little bit more of a body of work to deal with. But come on. Let's stop giving Rob Thompson sunshine and rainbows. He needs to be held accountable. What is he doing to fix it? I don't know. Putting Christian Pache in there is not necessarily fixing anything. I agree with you about Thompson. Absolutely. I'm not saying fire him. I'm not. Please don't think I'm saying fire Rob Thompson. I'm not. But come on. What is he doing to fix it? Team read too much. Good things they think there are. They're not. They think they're playing baseball. All right. Good stuff, man. All right. Now you guys are coming on to my way of thinking. I don't know if that's a good thing. Mike totally agrees. Good, Mike. I'm glad. So again, let's kind of draw some comparisons, or let's draw a line here. I'm not saying fire Rob Thompson. I'm not. But the honeymoon and the NLCS and the NL, that's over. That's last season. Nobody cares anymore about what happened in 2022. It's in the past. We didn't win the World Series. Just like Eagles, right? The Eagles. They didn't win the Super Bowl. They won the NFC. They didn't win the Super Bowl. But yeah, we're going to praise individuals like Howie Roseman for doing a great job. We didn't win anything. We won the NFC. We were the runners up. But we're going to praise a guy like Howie. Don't get me down this Howie Roseman hole. I don't want to go there. This is not about that. But we don't want to hold Howie accountable for not winning the Super Bowl. We want to pat him on the back for getting us there. What town is this? I'm from Philadelphia. This is not the Philadelphia that I grew up in, all right? This is some watered-down millennial version that I don't like. We're going to start making excuses for why we're losers. Why? Let's fix it. If it ain't working, blow it up. Let's start over again. But I'm not saying in this case, I'm not saying that individually with the Phillies, but some accountability needs to be placed. The manager is responsible for the overall performance of this team. Got it. He doesn't swing. He doesn't pitch. He doesn't throw. He doesn't run the bases. I understand all that. But he puts the people out there that are doing those things. And if they're not doing those things, then he needs to figure out either they sit down and somebody else does it, or he works some mojo to make them do it better. That's all I'm saying, folks. And I think that's valid, right? That's valid. You guys would agree to that, right? Oh man, let's that's good. We get my heart moving tonight. Let's check out the EOP lineup. This is, of course, the kind of the end of the week, Thursday night. You got some attacking third happening, I think, right now as well. I'm Phightins and Phinal up Sixers post game, which may or may not be fun to look at based on what I've been watching of the Sixers tonight. Not a good night so far here in Philadelphia sports land. Um, but definitely check out everything that we have to offer here on the Edge of Philly Sports. And don't forget, next week is the week. Draft week is here. We have you covered. Look no further, folks. I am telling you, look no further than Edge of Philly Sports all of draft week, especially from Thursday on through next Sunday. We are going to be draft-tastic. Drama, check. Talent, check. Unscripted, check. The future is now. EOP Sports has you covered. Be on the lookout for some more detailed information about our continuing draft coverage. And don't forget the stuff that we're already doing. Check it out on our website. Articles, shorts on YouTube, stuff out there for everybody to look at when it comes to draft. We have you covered. The best I've ever seen anybody in this city does. I'll stake my life on it. But check us out. We have lots of good stuff to offer. Travel like the pros with Philly sports trips. Don't forget the draft is coming up next week. They are going out to Kansas City, and as far as I know, there are still seats available for that trip. Get yourself on it. Get out there and rep in KC, man. Support the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's make sure we win a Super Bowl this year instead of only get there. So that's coming up in late April. Don't forget the twofer, the Union Denver or the Union Phillies twofer out there in Denver in May. And then everything else that Philly Sports Trips has to offer, get onto their website, www.phillysportstrips.com. Everything that they got coming up this summer. A lot of stuff to talk about. And of course, the Eagle schedule is getting ready to drop. So that's going to be even more stuff that they're going to be cranking out for the fall. If you have any workman's comp, motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or criminal law issues, questions, or concern, Dave Cherry is your man. 610-565-0300. Give Dave a call. Tell him Matty B, a Phightins Final, and the Edge of Philly Sports sent you. If you're looking for those hard-to-find tickets to sports, concerts, or theater venues, look no further than Sherry's Ticket Town. www.sherrystickets.com. Family-owned and operated since 1946. Go there, save an additional 10% if you enter the EOP promo code, or I always say it like that, the promo code EOP10, Sherry's Tickets Town. And look no further, PJ at Dolan's and 24 East Sellers Ave. Quizzo, music, great times, memorabilia giveaways. You don't know who's going to walk through the door, and the wiffle ball madness coming up, folks. You got to check this thing out. Charlie Manuel's going to be there down there. I think it's May 13th at the wiffle ball madness at Dolan's. Head over to our website and to Dolan's website and find out some more information on that as well. But make sure you're checking out Dolan's in Delco for all your beverage needs, I guess, and your food needs. But yeah. Totally valid. Okay. Well, thank you. Mike says Sixers are also up by 35. Off with 35. Good. They're battling their way. They're battling their way back. I hope the Sixers can finish it off tonight. It wasn't easy for them. But hey, that's what champions do. They win. They find ways to win. Folks, that is going to do it for me tonight. Thank you for coming out and enjoying another rousing episode of the Phightins Final. Remember to be following us every night. We're here for you every single night after the Phillies game. We'll be back tomorrow. It won't be me. It'll be one of our other, I think Pat, Mike, or Al. One of them three will be here to take you all the way. But please make sure you're checking back in with us because we got you covered. Rain, snow, shine, Phillies loss, win, shutout, 13 strikeouts, or whatever. We will be here with you through it all from April to October. And we got you covered. All right. So until we talk again, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. Go Phillies. And we'll see you tomorrow.